No, I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to do that again.
You already started it. Go ahead.
No, I can't. It's too long. It's too long. I can't do it. I mean, if you like it that much, I'll just record it for you. Like, golly.
See, look, for people like, if you tune in and if you actually post that beginning of this, then you over here talking about, I'm going to just stand and see, it just sounds a little suspicious. But she's talking about Carol Baskin.
I mean, y'all can think whatever you want. I don't really care.
Carol just kidding. She's not talking about Carol Baskin.
Carol Baskin and Robbins.
That's unfortunate. Welcome to the That's Unfortunate podcast, your society, culture, and news podcast. Y'all already know where this is going. It's your boy. Here we go. It's your boy, a.k.a. SSJ Black Crowd, a.k.a. Mr. Muckluck, a.k.a.
That's it. Chris.
That's it, Chris.
A.K.a. Josh.
Can you explain Muckluck?
Josh.
What is this Muckluck?
Ooh, what is the Muckluck?
Yeah, explain that.
So
Isn't that
it's a teaser for something that's coming up in the future.
Oh.
You'll see it soon. Stuff's happening.
Heard.
Yes.
We don't even know about this, so.
I thought Muckluck
no
was
idea what
whenever
he's
you're
talking
like half wizard and half person.
That's a mud blood.
Yeah.
I know, bitch. I was making fun of you.
Where's the button?
This is Velvet. It's your turn.
No, wait, this one. That one.
That one, yeah, you fucked it up.
I'm sorry, but we got the point across.
Didn't I tell you to label those?
So here's the thing. So there's a button.
I have a label maker.
I'm like, I do it when it's all touch screen. It's all touch screen.
I can do cursive.
Touch screen.
I can do cursive. You can make cursive.
What are you talking about?
My label maker.
Anywho.
So anyways, here with the crew.
Yes.
Velvet?
Crew.
It's Velvet. I'm a little tipsy, so y'all gonna see me in my element.
Yay!
Follow me on Instagram at Velvet Isabel X VELVETISABELA. Or no, X.
Whoa.
Oops. Switch up.
When English wasn't your first language.
Switch out the A for the X, y'all. I'm sorry. My last name starts with the A, so there you go.
And in the description.
And honestly, if you want to look it up that bad, just go to another episode and listen to the beginning. You can figure it out.
If you type in Velvet ISA, I'm probably the first person who comes up. So
that's true. There's not a lot of people named Velvet.
Exactly. So here I am.
Your turn.
It's me. Who are you?
Morgan.
Hi. Follow me on Instagram at HeyMo0731. Oh, I'm also at Twitter. It is the real Morgina. That's spelled MORGINA. There's a story behind that nickname, but I won't go into it right now.
I am Jade. I downloaded Twitter again, but they kicked me off because I was cyberbullying racists.
Oh,
So you like literally just sent us the message. Hey, follow me on Twitter like a couple days ago.
Oh no, that's my new Twitter.
Oh, okay.
But we haven't filmed.
She had to make a new one.
I had to let the crew know.
Oh, you got kicked off already.
Yeah, but not yet.
how long are you banned? Are you banned? Or
Permanently. I've used up all my allowances of cyberbullying racists.
Damn, already.
Yeah, I like to cyberbully racists. So my Twitter is at the Jade Cooley. You can find me on Instagram at Jade is Confused. And that's that on that.
All right. So, before we jump into it, I do want to say, of course, my regular shout outs to everybody on our social media pages. Follow us on Instagram. That's Unfortunate Podcast.
Yes.
And on Twitter, Unfortunate Pod. And on Facebook, That's Unfortunate
Podcast.
And on YouTube, That's Unfortunate Podcast. But do that. But something else that we want to do is we want to hear from you, not only in the comments, but in the episodes. We could do a thing where we want to hear your voice messages. If you want to call in, leave us a nice message, a mean message. I don't know if you, whatever you want to do, we want to hear from you.
I love the haters.
Go to anchor.fm/That's Unfortunate Podcast /message, and you'll be able to leave a little voice message, whether it's on your phone, whether it's on a computer, on your Nintendo Switch. I don't know if that works.
Please do it.
But do it.
I want to feel like we're in the 90s and you leave me a cute little voicemail. Well, not just me, but all of us. But you know what I'm saying?
Talking about the voicemail where like you're playing the music in the background.
The music in the background? Or like you don't even know. You don't even say anything. You just play
Can we
the
have
song.
an episode where we talk about the 90s?
I very much would like for
Noted.
someone to cyberbully me. I would very much like for someone to say something funny. No, that shit's funny as hell. Like
I like getting roasted, but like bullying.
No, girl. Have you seen what Viceland does? Viceland will play people like straight fully cussing them out. Like calling theirs, and it's the funniest shit.
Damn.
Because they will play it in the middle of like their commercial breaks because they're very like progressive and like a lot of conservatives, you know, because they're filled with the love of God, they're very angry. And they will jump online and just like call in and be like, yo, fuck Viceland and Jaws Mama. And they'll play it on like their commercial breaks and be like, thanks for the message.
Damn.
You have a good day.
All right, so
I have a blessed one.
So if you want to cyberbully us,
Jade,
I'm cool with it.
I don't want to be cyberbully. I'm too sensitive.
yeah, I don't want that either. I have enough going on.
Don't
in my
bully
life.
Velvet specifically, but collectively, if you call us names or something, like
No, that's fine.
I'll
If you
just
wanna
laugh about it.
Talk about all of us as
You
a
can
group.
talk shit about me. I don't care.
I feel like Jade, is that like
all
get
attention
you excited?
is attention.
Oh, like TMZ when they read letters.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Okay.
All new.
Yeah,
My
so we'll-
haters are my
so-
motivators.
So yeah, we'll do something with it. But go ahead, leave a message. We want to hear from you, and we'll see where that takes us. So we're gonna go ahead and we'll sort of before our icebreaker. Let's talk about a couple stuff.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
there's a few things.
There's a couple things that we sort of want to address because we've been gone for a week.
Yes.
So we gotta catch up on some stuff. So let's
Last episode we talked about Will and Jada Pickett Smith.
Jada Pickett Fence.
Did I just spit on you? No, but
So this is part
We're gonna
two.
conclude that. Yes.
Yeah, I feel like this is the conclusion to this because I'm sort of over it at this point.
August has since released
August
a
is
song.
not. Yeah, I was about to say August is not
He's
over
still
this.
not over it.
He just released a song, 2-3 days ago?
Oh my
Called
God.
Entanglements. I have not listened to it, and I hope you guys haven't either.
Bless his
but-
heart. I haven't listened to it. I kind of want to.
That's good for him. Like you ride this
Don't.
wave right now, and I think this whole
working for him.
He's
yeah,
taking advantage of it.
this
Yeah,
whole
get your
thing.
bag, August.
This whole thing
yeah.
is based on like
Dead
anytime
ass.
you see these wild like stories, it's either a album release,
Yes.
there's either like some sort of like project right around the corner. So
Yes.
I was expecting either him to drop some music or for the Smiths to, I don't know
I'm over it. It's September.
what.
I'm over it. It's September.
That's clever, but I don't want to laugh at it.
But you're left.
Look, honestly, like the look some people give me with my jokes is like that fuels me. It's
She tells like
everything.
the dad jokes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she's
Oh
got
my
dad
God.
jokes.
Okay, so
We love those.
I don't have a dad though.
love it.
So
Yes, Chris.
Call him a bitch.
Where are you at right now? Because now that we the
So-
table talk is out.
Yes. Okay.
Oh
Yo,
my goodness.
That 2-minute fucking table talk. I'm pissed. I was pissed. I'm not anymore.
How long
But
was
when
it
It was like
exactly?
18.
Like 12 minutes.
12 minutes. Yeah, it was.
It's normally like a 45-minute, like
Yes.
hour long.
Yes. But no. But you know what?
we have to give him respect though. It's a very sensitive
No,
time
this
for
one.
August.
Okay, no, but for real, I watched it. I do appreciate Will Smith for calling her out on her shit. She was like entanglements. He was like, "You said what?" And
He did kind of like
He was like, no,
Like-
speak clearly."
say what it really is.
But
Easy how he was like, so a relationship.
but we're not gonna ignore the fact that at one point he was like, "Oh, I'll get you back," and she was like, "No, you already got me back." Did anybody else hear that? Or was it
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Okay,
But
I'm just saying because
the thing-
nobody was talking about that via memes or anything like
She
that.
said
I
you
was
already
like,
got me back. I bet you know who I think it was. Margot.
Robbie?
August.
Whatever the fuck.
Jade, take a break.
I'm gonna slap you.
But here's the thing. So
My question is,
Will he has his side pieces in check.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he probably has some signed
that's why he was
NDAs.
pissed.
when there's a will,
Like
there's a way.
this-
Okay, I'll stop. I'm good. That's my last one for a little bit. I promise. Chris, keep going.
And like you were saying, he definitely does because no one has said anything on behalf of his side or whatever. Like I said in the last episode, it's been rumored that they've been fucking swingers for fucking
forever.
years.
Literally.
So
I think this whole thing was them doing like, a PR spin, trying to jump in front of it. Because you know how they never addressed the open relationship.
yeah,
No, at all.
They started off saying, there's been news about us, but we never formally said anything. And they sort of like just spun around and was like, yeah, we took some time off, yada, yada, yada. Like, come on.
we know what it was.
We know what it was.
Exactly.
And we know what it still is. Like, you can't tell me that, a couple months ago, they had that Red Table Talk, and Jada was like, yeah, I don't even know who Will is.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he could be in the same house.
With someone else, on the other side of the house with someone else, some shit like that. But we know what you were alluding, and that's fine. If that works for them, good for them.
I mean, really, honestly, like, okay, so I did read on like a Twitter post where somebody said that Jada took advantage of August because they were like, "What if Will would have taken?"
They're saying he was in an
they were like,
emotionally
what if Will
vulnerable,
would have talked to one of
place.
Willow's friends, and while they were in a vulnerable place, and like gave them that comfort, and then they ended up in a relationship. Everybody would be calling Will a predator. Yeah. Now I don't know if that was how that happened with her because I didn't. If I'm being honest, I did not listen.
How old is August?
20 something.
He's like
No.
He was one of Jaden's friends.
Yeah, he was Jaden's friends.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Jaden has older. Hold on, let's see how old he
I'm
is.
finna go.
He wasn't underage at all,
no, he
though.
wasn't-
Like
no.
when she.
No, but they're just saying he was still like
He's still young.
he was still young.
I mean,
Okay, so no, August was in a very like emotionally vulnerable place. He his sister or someone died and he had to take over for his nieces.
okay.
And obviously his health wasn't all that. So I see what they're saying. However, I don't think it, because if it was just like a sexual thing, then I would understand what people are saying when they say that Jada took advantage. However, she said they were in a relationship. Well, no,
He's
she said in an
27
entanglement,
years
but-
old.
And this was what she said, like 3 years ago.
4 years ago.
4 years ago. So he
So
was,
then he was 23.
23. Yeah, he was young.
She's like,
That's young.
she's
That's
like
young.
50.
yeah.
Yeah, that was very young.
Yeah, no, it is. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if it was just sexual, I mean, I can see where they're coming from.
No, but
it was- she said it was.
But turn it around though. If
Abusers use emotional
if Will
as
was
well
like,
to get to
talking to a
that.
23-year-old when she was like,
23 and
23. She
And
was
you got to keep in mind,
sick.
they've been
She
friends
was-
before he was that age. They were friends before, long time before they ended up like fucking or whatever they were doing.
Entangled.
Yeah, and before they entangled the shit.
Entangle.
God, I hate that word now.
I love it.
I hear it too much.
Disney,
Straight,
that Disney movie
so-
Entangled.
So, I'm
You wish you could get up and leave, but we filming.
Where were you going, Chris?
I don't even know anymore.
Y'all welcome. Y'all
I really
welcome.
I don't even know where I was going with this, but
But I guess the conclusion is like, how do you guys feel about the whole situation? Like, who's wrong in this situation?
Jada. And
Yeah?
Will. In August.
All three of them.
all three of them.
This is the collective, and all of us for entertaining that bullshit because it's none of our fucking business. Why are we not talking about how Willow and her brother feels right now? Because I forgot his name.
Jaden.
Yeah, that one. Why are we not talking about how they feel?
That one.
Why are we not
also
talking
Trey.
about the fact that the last time that Willow got this much media attention, she jumped on the red table to talk about how she tried to kill herself.
I remember
So we need to literally back the fuck up off this family. Think about the fact that there are 2 kids involved who are very impressionable. She just turned 19 years old. She just released 2 albums. She's working really hard on her career and to create a name for herself. And her name should not be attached to her parents' infidelities.
And that's on period.
Touche,
Why is
baby.
that the only attention that we want to give black representation is the attention that makes them seem like a non-structured family?
Right.
I'm tired of this shit. Like, let's talk about
They've
the fact
obviously
that
been making
No,
that
but
shit
you know
work.
what?
that
You know what?
despite
That's
this,
why it became such a huge deal
because there's such a representation of a collective
exactly
family.
because like if you really think about it, how many famous families do we know that are still together
And still married.
and
Yeah.
still like open, like with the like okay, Denzel and his wife have been together for forever. However, we don't really hear about them in the media because they're like because they're like you know they keep to themselves. However, Will and Smith
Offset and Cardi got all over media.
So me being a black person, I didn't look at this being a race thing.
I didn't.
I didn't at first, but the thing is like I feel like it feeds into for people who view everything as a race thing. For like conservative white people who are like do not like black individuals.
Fuck those people.
But the thing is that this just is fueling their fire.
I think this is just people being involved in famous people's lives. That's all it is. Like anytime famous people have
not
like
the only
someone
open
cheated or a
relationship.
divorce
They're
or whatever,
not-
we're all in it.
But they're not the only open relationship. Y'all got to think about the fact that.
I mean, you're not wrong.
What was that man? John Travolta.
It's
has
because
cheated on
August came
his-
out and said something though.
Okay, but so has John Travolta's people
Yeah.
that he's been with, and he has slept with men who have gone out and said, "Hey, I slept with John Travolta." Nobody talked about it. No, yes, and nobody talked about it. Nobody blew it up, and he cheated on his wife with a man. But the thing is,
know that.
a
Yup.
black woman is in a consensual relationship with a black man who has a
It's a
blessing
huge deal.
from her black husband, and it's a huge deal. This
it wasn't a blessing.
It wasn't.
He asked for
It
a blessing.
No, it wasn't a blessing.
I don't think he knew about it. Initially.
No. He
so
knew,
it was
but
doing it. It was at a time where they officially had split up.
Yeah.
they
So-
were about to get divorced.
Yeah.
Is what they had said.
But the thing is, they stuck through it and they raised two incredible children, and their children's careers are very successful. And I think people should just back off and let their family breathe.
I think. All right. So I think that all this was done to sort of get the spotlight on them, and like I've watched, Jaden, watch Willow come up from this, and like you said, Willow's working on music. Jaden is working on whatever Jaden's working on.
My nerves.
So let's like.
him.
I think that this, I think that last table talk was like one of like the most viewed
On Facebook.
Facebook
yes.
videos,
And it was less than 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
It was.
So I don't know. I look at this as this being like a Hollywood family trying to get clout. Granted, August was the one that sort of like
Yeah,
stirred the
August did
pot.
this to them.
But once
He
again,
should've just kept
but once
his mouth
again,
shut.
August has music coming out. Mm-hmm. August Alsina, you have to like really be into R&B to like know who he was.
I had never even heard of him until
A
this
majority of people, never,
Exactly.
No one really knew.
shit.
Who
He knew
was.
what he was doing.
So once again,
He knew what he
stunt-
was doing.
a stunt to get into the public eye, and to get into the public saying that you hooked up with Will Smith's wife.
Right.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing.
Jada looks like she would pop you in the store really hard in front of everybody and not even care.
Ooh.
She does.
What?
Jada looks like she would pop you in the store for back talking in front of everybody and still not care.
Oh,
She looks like that kind of mama, and I respect that.
Okay, so actually, I have this thing I want to read because I kind of like really, really agree with it. This is a friend of mine who posted this on Facebook before the Red Table Talk. Her name is Ashanae Hill, and so she said, August Alsina is washed the fuck up. Ironically, during an album release, he had to speak on his intimate dealings with Jada. Eye rolling emoji. Whether or not it did happen, he was once rumored to be involved with Jada's mother because he leaned on her to help with addiction. It was a Red Table Talk episode. I actually remember that episode. They keep him relevant and he's biting hard. Try to come off hella compassionate during a Breakfast Club interview, saying a married woman broke his heart to the point of internal death. She's a married woman. Whether their relationship is open or not, her loyalty and devotion is to her partnership, not you. So either way you want to flip it, that shit is goofy. And it's true. It really
very
is.
goofy.
But at the same time, like from his perspective, because even though I don't care, I do have an opinion because I have opinions, but whatever. At me. So from a like victim's point of view, I've been in a situation where I knew I was taken advantage of, but I didn't know until afterwards. And like I looked back and I was like, holy shit. Like that is not okay. That is dangerous. Because like who else would that person take advantage of? And then I called attention to it. And I called that person out. Now, Do I think any way that he would have called attention to it, it would have gotten public attention and it would have blown the fuck up no matter what he did. I mean, it could have been way later and he was like, this person made me feel like they loved me and that they were going to care about me forever. And then they turned around and flipped it.
But that's what he said, yeah.
Yeah, so exactly. So, I mean, the thing is, if she made him feel that way and wasn't going to act on it, it seems like she has a lot of feelings and she feels very intensely. And that's a great thing and all, but like, for somebody who is that young, I know where I'm at 21, and I'm lost like a fucking fart in a whirlwind. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing 9 times out of 10, and I don't know how to even begin to ask. So I'm just like winging this shit. So I cannot imagine how he felt at that age, being a musician, a struggling musician, mind you, because I don't know who he is. But so if he was like that close to fame and like that, going through that much pressure, like I took care of my sister's kid for a while because she was a mess. Not only are you dealing with the fact that your sibling is a mess, you're dealing with the fact that you have to take care of that sibling's children, and you're under even more of a microscope because they're not yours. If you fuck up and that's your kid, then you can still correct it at your home.
Right.
If you fuck up and it's somebody else's kid, they can be taken away from you, and you're ruining your sibling's life, and you're ruining your own life, and then those kids' lives, and you're breaking apart your family. So, you know, he was probably going through some bullshit. She should have left him alone.
But
that's the thing, though. Is like she even said like
she should have left him alone.
But
but
that's
she
the
did.
thing.
She got what she wanted out of it and moved.
Yeah,
this is
that's
4
probably
years
why
ago.
she
Yeah.
stopped.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, August just should have
Probably a
not
combination
said
of all of it.
anything, like whatever.
So basically, what you're saying is, Jada needs to get her hose in check.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is.
Yes, Jada needs
So.
to get the kink out of the hose and like whatever you just said.
Make them sign NDAs like Will does.
Yep.
Damn it. That's it.
No dick announcements.
Moving on.
So, all right. Next up, let's talk about this whole Nick Cannon thing.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I don't know if you know this already, but I'm wearing my Nick Cannon shirt, my Wild 'N Out shirt. I just off rip. I gotta say, I'm on team Nick Cannon. I'm on Red Squad.
So
Obviously.
yeah, same.
And all right, so if you don't know what we're talking about, Nick Cannon has been in the news recently about having anti-Semitic remarks. He was on his podcast, and he was I feel like the whole situation of like him on his podcast, a lot of what he talks about on his podcast and like just that type of environment, it's sort of like if you've ever been in a black barbershop, it's definitely like people talking about stuff, saying wild shit, and everyone sort of agreeing, but like in the back of the head saying, nah, this is wrong. This person's actually pretty crazy, but we're gonna roll with it. I think Nick Cannon, he was like sort of going in the motions, sort of like saying things that he wasn't fully educated in. Because at some point, like during the podcast, I was like, yo, this is like borderline Hotep stuff.
Yes.
Very Hotep. And I feel like Nick Cannon, he's done so much for the community that I can't let something like this sort of be the thing that we cancel him on.
Okay, so backpedaling or not backpedaling? What's the fucking word I'm looking for?
Backtrack.
That's right.
No.
We get where you're going.
Piggybacking off what you just said.
Oh.
Dear God. So actually, Sean King. Oh my God, I'm okay, guys. I promise. Sean King made a post about Nick Cannon, and he was like, that for this. You know what? I'll just read it. Nick Cannon is a good man with a huge heart. He's 39 years old. That means he has been on this earth for over 14,000 days. What I refuse to do is cancel this man's 14,000 days because of something he said in 90 seconds. I'm not even debating whether or not you or anyone else sincerely found it offensive. I'm saying that the man apologized, lost huge parts of his career, and refused to pile on or cancel him. And then he went on to talk about how, like he's done a lot for the community, like Chris just said. He has done a lot. Like he goes out and protests. He donates money. He does everything. So And then on top of that, social media is a very wishy-washy kind of thing. People came at him, and then when he apologized, they still came at him. So
it's harder.
Yeah. So that's the thing is like it's
What did he say exactly?
He pretty much was like, I have no hatred in my heart. Like, I apologize if I offended. Like,
what did he say to offend?
Oh, to offend them. So he basically, I don't know how to word it because I don't truly understand this myself, but he was kind of saying that black people are the original Hebrews. And then he said something along the lines of, I didn't watch the podcast, but he said something along the lines of white people being savages and like the lighter skinned Jewish people are like whitewash. Like he said something about whitewashed Jews.
You know what's funny? It wasn't the white people that are savages part that got him quote unquote canceled.
Right.
It was more or less that he linked Jewish people owning all the banks, being like in control of everything.
Yeah.
That sort of narrative, because I've listened to like a bunch of podcasts, I've like watched videos of people talk about it. When it comes to like the Jewish community, and like this is based off of like, of course, I'm not Jewish, but this is based off of what I'm hearing Jewish people say. When you talk about how the Jews own all the banks, how they control everything, like all of that are things that offend them. So that's the anti-Semitic marks.
It offends them to say that they're successful and own all these banks?
No, because it sort of plays into a stereotype. And then it also goes into,
the stereotype that they're good with money. Like, I'm confused.
No, there's a stereotype that I learned this from the nanny, so don't judge. But that they're like very cheap. And,
I've
because
heard
of that,
I've heard that.
Yeah. There you go. That's what it was. I'm not saying that.
Every successful person is though.
So it was explained to me and I'm paraphrasing, where it's these are things that sort of that put targets on them before. So like when you look at times like right now where a bunch of people are,
we don't like rich people, or at least I don't like rich people.
A bunch of people are struggling right now. A lot of people are they don't have any money. Who are you gonna look at? Who are you gonna point the fingers to? The people that are in power, the people that have the money. And at that point, you're saying the Jews run the banks. They're the ones that we're pointing the fingers at, and that's sort of what led into their culture being attacked.
Well, okay, you know how? Correct me if I'm wrong. I forgot the name of the place. Oh, Israel. Israel is a Jewish country, right? Like it's for it literally basically is for Jewish people, right? You see what's happening, what they're doing to Palestinian people. Mm-hmm. I mean, not all over the world is it bad, but I am deeply affected by people being kicked out of a place or a land. And I know that they were kicked out of Israel. Their ancestors were. But I'm not going to allude anymore because I don't want to get canceled. But research what's happening to Palestinian people in Israel, because I did a lot of research after reading about the Nick Cannon thing, and then I just clicked on a link and it was a whole thing that I jumped into. And there are Jewish people in my family. My uncle is Jewish. They're the only people in my family who still continue to reach out to me and support me, and I love them to death for it. The homeland for Jewish people, their representation for Jewish people, the way that they are treating Palestinian people, just because they've had a bad history does not mean they should not be held accountable. Does not mean their homeland should not be held accountable. Yes, Palestinian people are not completely in the clear, but I think kicking anybody out of any land at all and sending them back to the country where you're pretty much guaranteed that they're not going to make it is not something that the Jewish faith stands for, and not something that any faith should ever stand for, and people need to be held accountable. That's all that I'm not going to say. It's not really in relation to Nick Cannon, but in that country, they have the power. It's a Jewish state. And in that country, they are allowing people to go without shelter and without home and without security, and actively kicking people out of that land into a place where they don't have security or home. And I know their country is overpopulated, but maybe try to either help the countries that need the help so that way they can live there and succeed, but tossing somebody out there and letting them, okay, go for it. I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
Okay, so Morgan,
Really back.
Yes. Can I
Wait.
help you?
where do you sit just with this whole, Nick Cannon situation? Like,
Where do I sit with it?
yeah.
I'll just say this. I've noticed that they were very quick to fire him over what he said. He got fired so fast. But have you ever noticed like all these white people that have said the N-word on the internet, like it takes a quote unquote investigation to like get them fired, and it takes like a couple of weeks. Like that's the main thing that's bothering me with this. They were so quick to fire this man over something that honestly I don't even feel like he meant any hatred toward anyone Jewish. I genuinely feel like Nick Cannon had no hatred in his heart when he said the things that he said.
Meanwhile,
Go ahead.
the president said, "Grab them by the pussy," and made fun of
He also
a
has-
disabled reporter.
Also, Donald
he's the fucking
Trump
president.
has called white nationalists
Very good
good
people.
people. Yeah, very good people.
On both sides. Very good
And
people.
So
and people who protest for what we've
Thugs.
been doing.
Right.
Y'all thugs.
Right, so the man who runs our country is okay with white nationalists, people who are truly anti-Semitic. We're okay with that. But because Nick Cannon was maybe a little bit uneducated about what he was talking about, but what he said he meant with good intention, we're going to fire him over that because what he said was slightly offensive to Jewish people. And honestly, I didn't even hear a lot of Jewish people
Upset
like
about it.
saying things and were upset about it. It was mostly just like white people in general.
They have piggybacked off this man's career, and then they cancel him this moment that they get some negative attention. That's it.
And
I don't think he should have been canceled.
I
and
think he should have apologized, and he did.
did.
But
He did.
the fact that he got fired for that so quickly, that bothers me. I'm bothered.
Our vice president said that gay conversion therapy should not just be legal but federally funded. Okay.
yeah, so I once again, like I said, I'm wearing the shirt because the community, like,
Here's my question, Chris. Why are some celebrities held more accountable than the
Political
president of
figures.
the United States or political figures? Like, why are we holding certain people more accountable than others for the things that they say? There is a man running our country that has said like extremely
Horrible
fucked
stuff.
up shit,
we talked about it in the pre-show.
and we're holding Nick Cannon more accountable than we are him.
It's because it's
That
it's
kills
easy.
me.
Yeah, it kills me, and I feel like they do it because it's easy to sort of jump on this, and then it's a distraction.
Viacom fucked up.
Yeah,
They're gonna lose. Someone said it's going to be at least 70% of their black audience is going to be lost because all they have now really is BET. Like now that they've canceled Nick Cannon, the only thing people like of color are really paying attention to is Wild 'N Out. Nobody cares about MTV anymore.
Hell no.
Wild 'N Out was lit.
Yeah.
Like now that Wild 'N Out is canceled, who the fuck's gonna watch MTV? What's on MTV?
ridiculousness.
Teen
Fuck
Mom.
ridiculousness.
With
Teen
24/7.
Mom.
Tosh 0 has said way worse. Tosh 0 was on air for a very long time, and he actively said very racist things.
Oh,
he compared black people to
he used to say
AIDS.
so much
He
ridiculous shit.
compared like gay people to rapists and disease. Like he basically like reiterated like the AIDS crisis with the black with the gay community.
God.
He's just
Do y'all
garbage.
think? Do you think like Chris, as a black man, like black men are held
more
to
scrutiny.
they are criticized more than white men? Is that
Yeah,
true or
Yeah,
false?
that's very true.
we can even bring it back to Wendy Williams.
We're criticized on like both sides at the same time. That's what's happening to Nick. Where he's being criticized by the white community, but then at the same time when he went and apologized,
The
now
black community
black community is like,
attacking him.
Yeah.
yeah, they're saying that he's back down. He's not. He doesn't
Yeah.
have a backbone. No,
Yeah.
he clearly listen, y'all. Right here, come here. Listen. So we've all have said something wild or said something wrong
Absolutely,
and apologized for it.
Yes.
absolutely.
Yep.
Why does Nick Cannon not have the luxury of
Exactly. Like,
seeing that he
Like
said something
repentance.
wrong?
y'all remember that cancel episode where we were talking about Jeffree Star and all these other peoples where they've said these things and they've made their little fake ass apology videos and it's okay for them to make their fucking apology videos and people still go out and buy their shit and people still go out and watch their fucking YouTubes and they still have all these fucking followers. Why can't we see? That's that shit I was talking about that time. I was like, it doesn't make sense to me how you guys can hold someone to this type of standard or whatever. And are you okay? Okay. And and how you like what makes it okay for people like to say, you know what? Nick Cannon fucking apologize. That man should not deserve the shit he's under right now.
You know what I love is that not only did he apologize, but he's also making strides to educate himself.
Exactly.
When he was incorrect in. So he already has like I think it was on Instagram. He has a picture of him on the podcast again, but with someone from the Jewish community.
A rabbi, to be exact.
So for me, being a black male, I see that and I'm like, all right, I look up to that. Yeah. Not only has he made a mistake, apologize, but he's educating himself on what he messed up in.
Exactly.
That's
not
more
like
than,
these
that's
fucking
more than
YouTubers.
you can say for a lot of people.
Exactly. Not like these fucking YouTubers where they make their fucking apology
Jeffree Star
videos,
actually
and that's
made a
it.
video recently.
They made a video.
It was tragic.
For 12 minutes, he sat there and said, so, I just really needed some time because my life is really stressful in my big old mansion. And
he basically was
in
like,
a dark place whenever I said these things a couple months ago and continue to apologize for them and actively do them at the same time. But I promise I'm going to change. I also
basically
have a palette coming out.
yeah.
The Star family has a lot of things happening soon.
It's basically not taking accountability for shit. Exactly.
He's a different person now because he probably hasn't made pedophilic jokes in a long time. Thanks for being supportive. Stay positive. Bye. Yeah, fuck him.
Okay.
Next.
Oh,
Next.
Yeah, so, y'all, black community, y'all, come on. Let's get together because, I don't want to see.
Please don't turn it against each other.
Let's not.
Don't do it.
We're at a time where the community needs to be at its strongest. And for Nick to put all these people on, Emmanuel Hudson, DC Young Fly, B. Simone before she put a book out.
Okay, so how you were just saying, hold on. Okay, there it goes. Like I said earlier, and I brought up the Sean King post, right? Number 2 is, and I'm going to read this word for word because it's literally what Chris is talking about right now. He said, it's easier for you to cancel Nick Cannon when you've never loved him or needed him in the first place. Black people cannot afford to cancel person after person after person deemed an enemy by the dominant power structure. We literally have nobody left. That doesn't mean we can't have accountability. It doesn't mean we don't ask people to atone for mistakes, but I'm not throwing this man away. I refuse. He apologized, y'all. Y'all take these fake ass apologies from these fucking YouTubers and whoever the fuck else and the fucking president and think it's okay, but won't take a sincere
When has the president
apology.
apologized for anything? That's my thing.
No,
Why
he
are we
won't
canceling all these people
He won't apologize
for
but
bullshit?
He's backpedaled. He's
backpedaled.
Backpedaled. That's not an apology, though. That's not an admittance of guilt. That's not like, I was wrong.
That's my point.
Exactly.
My point is, y'all take this fake ass bullshit, but won't take a real apology from a person who is genuinely like.
And like I said, he was saying stuff in the moment, and it, like I said, it was barbershop talk. Like he was just speaking out his ass.
Exactly.
Yeah. All we did was put Donald Trump in a peach. He was impeached. Ooh. Okay, next.
All right, y'all.
Icebreaker time.
I'm ready.
Yes, sir.
I'm ready for this one.
All right, so
Me too.
Icebreaker for this week.
I know you are.
Would you date someone who's transgender?
And by date, we mean be in a relationship with. We're not talking about a first date. We're not talking about just whatever talking. We're talking about a relationship.
That's a gross.
Well, I'll go first. I guess, since nobody else wants to say anything.
I was ready. I was just waiting on somebody.
I know everybody was quiet.
I'm interested to hear everybody else's
I'll go
opinion
first.
so I don't override.
Okay, so I started off. I've been a straight female for the longest. I have slowly realized that I'm bisexual. I'm going to go ahead and say pre-op, not necessarily, right? However, but I'm bi, so like, I don't know how to explain this.
Is it transphobic not to?
But post-op, whatever gender you are, you are. Whatever you say you are, you are. At the end of the day, I love the person.
So
yeah, sure. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'm going to fall in love with you, the person. Mm-hmm. That's period. Sex, like we can figure that out. If what we're doing isn't necessarily pleasing me, we're going to figure out something else. But at the end of the day, I fall in love with the person.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I would. I would.
I'm not going to be like, "Oh, you were born a different gender." Yeah. Like,
So
whatever.
I would date a transgender person, pre or post op. Like, I mean, that doesn't matter to me. If you identify as a woman, then you're a woman. If you identify as a man, then you're a man. That's regardless of what's, you know. However, like, okay, when straight people, and I, you know what, I probably shouldn't even because
go ahead.
I'm not even straight, but okay, like when straight people say no, that they wouldn't. I feel like they usually say that because they only think about what's there, right? So usually
they're thinking pre-op.
They're thinking exactly.
Post-op.
So I feel like if they're saying that, then you know what? That's their decision or whatever. But I feel like if a transgender woman is post-op and you know they fully transitioned and whatever, and you still won't date a transgender person,
why not?
Why?
So
what's the reasoning behind that?
So, you as a straight person, let's go.
Yeah, so I wouldn't because I'm looking down. Like I want to have like a child.
Okay,
have a family.
See, that makes sense.
So
but that means you wouldn't have a serious relationship with a cis woman who isn't fertile, correct? Because your goal is to have children, right?
Here's what.
So if you are dating a cis woman and you find out she's not able to have children, does that end it for you?
Oh, wait.
No. Seriously.
Wait, no. Okay,
that's
seriously.
a fair question.
Think about that.
That's a fair question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So
come on.
That's something that I feel like that's like an in the moment thing. Like I'll have to like reevaluate everything then.
Okay, so I was gonna like go along with that. Okay, so I don't know if you guys know The Real, right? With Jeannie Mai, Adrienne, whatever the fuck her last name is, et cetera, right? So she was with somebody for like a long period of time. Mm-hmm. She just did not want to have kids. Mm-hmm. So eventually he left her because that's what he wanted, kids, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like that would be the same situation with Chris. Well, I mean, it's obviously not the same because she's a cis woman, but she just didn't want kids. Whereas a trans woman cannot have kids. Well, sorry.
In my eyes,
they're going to do womb transplants,
this is what it looks
different.
like to me, coming from a woman, not as a trans woman, from a woman.
Mm-hmm. Woman.
When you say that you want to have children, you're not looking at a partner as a partner. You're looking as what that woman can provide for you. You can have a surrogate mother. You can still have children of your own, and you can have a surrogate mother, and it's still biologically yours unless you're sterile. If you were not able to have children, would you think it fair that she left you to find another man to have a family with?
Wait.
Would you not be devastated if you fell in love with a woman, found out that you could not have children, and she left you and made you less of a man because you could not produce?
I mean,
because when you combine things like gender essentialism to the identity of womanhood, you are invalidating the women who do not menstruate, who do have X or do not have XX chromosomes, who are not able to have children, who have masculine features, who have facial hair. When you combine these things with that, you are invalidating the womanhood of all of those people. Genitalia, that's one thing.
Yeah.
If you don't want a dick, you don't want a dick. It don't matter what it comes down to.
Think about this. Imagine you fall in love with a woman, right? And you guys have been dating for however many years. You guys get married, right? And you want to start trying to have kids. But you come to find out that your wife can't have children. You're going to leave her?
So, I mean, it's going to be a conversation that me and her are going to have. So I can't, so it would be unfair to me to say, oh, I'm just going to get up and leave. No, we'll figure stuff out. We'll figure it out. But can it be also fair? So can it also be fair to me to say that when you look at like what you're attracted to,
Yeah.
like let's say if your attraction is like Asian people, if it's black people, is it fair for me to say I still respect transgender people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't see myself.
I have another
being
question.
that- uh-huh.
I have another question. Okay, about the kids thing.
Okay.
So let's say you go on a date with a woman you're feeling or whatever, because being in a relationship for a long time and then later finding out they can't have kids is different than like knowing ahead of time that they can't have children.
Yeah.
Is that a deal breaker?
Oh, knowing ahead of time?
Knowing ahead of time, like you meet someone for the first time,
And
or
they
like
tell your
you're
friend.
dating or whatever,
well, a
and like
cis
the
woman.
second date they're like it's a cis woman and they're like, by the way, I'm infertile, but you're kind of like feeling her and you want to have a relationship with her and it's just starting out. Is that a deal breaker?
I want kids, so that's something I would have to ask myself and sort of like struggle internally with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, but
Okay,
like if the
that's what I'm
struggle-
wondering. Is it the fact that you can't have kids, or is it the fact that they're trans? Is what
If
I'm
the
is
struggle
what I'm trying
is,
to.
is the struggle easier? Because would the struggle become easier to say no, I'm not going to be with that person if you found out she was infertile because she was biologically male? If that is the case, then I love you to death, Chris, but you need to reevaluate your mind, your process of thought for that. Because when I was a child, my mom had to sit me down and explain to me I will never be able to have children and that I will never grow breasts. And that confused me. And for a very long period of my life, I was puberty was a hard time for me because I did not understand anything. And I was very, very trapped. My process to womanhood has been very different than every other woman's. And I do not expect a man to be with me because my genitals do not match my body, my mind. So that is one thing. However, somebody looking at me and saying, I cannot be attracted to transgender people, that's like saying I can't be attracted to black people. There's not physical features that are specific to a person or a group of people. There are not physical features that are specific to black people. There are not physical features that are essential to trans women. If I showed you a picture of Nikita Dragon, you're gonna not, there's no way you can clock that.
If you didn't know who she was or anything
if
like that,
there are
you
trans
can't
women
tell.
out here who are very passable and they exude the features that
Do you
are
know
like,
who Nikki Tutorials is?
I hear the name.
She's been
if you put a
making
picture-
videos
if you
for
put a picture
10
in front of me,
years,
I wouldn't-
and
And
she's
nobody
been
knew she was
transitioned
trans.
for the whole time, right? So ever since she became on YouTube, she had already been transitioned. She came out last year, and no one knew. No one knew.
This year. It was this year.
Was it this year?
It was this year.
2020? I thought it was 2019. Jesus Christ, this has been a long year. Oh my God.
All right, so
She came out this year.
That's her.
so
I
wouldn't know,
would've
but I'm not.
never
I wouldn't.
guessed.
I'm not attracted to her.
She's been.
Yeah.
She
well, I mean,
has
that's the thing.
been.
There are trans women out there that I know for a fact you would find attractive. That's just like, there's no way that you can actually confidently say, I think it
There's
would be-
cis women that have masculine features. Like you can't just look
I
at
don't
someone
think
and say, "I know that they're
Now,
trans."
this is not me looking at you and saying you're transphobic, Chris.
Yeah.
No, that is not what that is. I'm saying that we have a society that has a lot of transphobic constructs, and because
sure, yeah.
trans people are still in their civil rights era, we are still in our civil rights movement.
I'm not saying
And
that
because of
people
that-
aren't transphobic or like,
Right.
Yeah.
No. Because of that, though, I still have to educate my friends. I've had to educate my family. And the thing is it comes down to the small things. It comes down to the difficult conversations where I'm not going to look at people who say, I wouldn't date a trans person and be like, well, you're transphobic. No, you're not transphobic for saying that. You have a mindset that is common because our society is built off of transphobic tendencies. And one of those is combining gender essentialism with womanhood.
Can I say something?
Yes.
You want a hot take?
Yes.
And people already know when I say hot take. I've seen transgender women that if the opportunity came up to, I'm like, all right, I'd test drive it out.
Yeah.
Because there's some transgender women I've seen that look better than the cisgender women that I've hooked up with.
Chris.
What? It is what it is.
There's
So-
been trans men that I've seen that like I personally would not be able to date a pre-op trans man. So, like that's not something I would have to think about because I've not found myself attracted to a vagina
right.
And,
Like-
and why is that?
because they look like RB sandwiches.
Oh my dear God.
I mean, I'm just saying that's not something that I'm attracted to physically.
They don't all look like that, by the way.
It looks weird to me.
Which RB sandwich in particular?
Okay, she talking about roast beef. Are you silly?
Can y'all
Like,
not?
are you kidding?
like
Can we not?
But
I know you were joking, right?
But like the thing is like I don't find myself transphobic for that. If the man was post-op, and I found myself in a relationship with that person, and like I'm not going to turn that down. I wouldn't turn down if I found myself mentally and like spiritually attracted and connected with this person on a romantic level. Their physical being is not going to stop me from loving them, because that's going to become wrinkly and gross regardless of how long I'm there.
Period.
So I mean, okay, so that's what I was saying earlier. Like I feel like
I want your hot take, by the way. My bad.
Yeah, that he would go after someone who's
Oh, that's completely. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm drunk.
He's you know what? Just
So this is the conversation that I love having on this podcast, because
I want to die.
look, when we're talking about the episode, and I see it like in my notes, I'm like, well, this is gonna be an awkward episode, because I know that I'm the straight black guy, and I know that my answer is not gonna be like the answer that people want to hear.
yeah. That's not wrong.
But I want to say that I do feel like I'm a progressive person.
yeah.
And like I feel like there's no way that I'm transphobic. But that's just that's how I feel. But at the same time, who knows how I'll feel in the future? Who knows? Like my mind is open.
And
That's how I feel.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is like a lot of people are they say no, I won't date a transgender person. But then like Chris said, like some people are some women, transgender women or transgender men even, because I've seen them and they're kind of cute. They're really cute actually. That's not my point. There was a thread the other day on Facebook. Dear God.
Girl.
Great.
Give me a hard palpitation.
So, where was I going with this?
Where are you going with that?
That there are a lot of trans people, or trans what's the proper term? Is it trans people?
Transcendent beings.
Oh my God. Let's go with that then. That are passable for, what they refer them to themselves as.
Yeah.
Look, I know what I'm saying in my head, but it's not translating right.
Swear.
So my point is that if the opportunity arises and if something happens, then you can't just be closed-minded just because they're like, oh, I'm trans. It's like, oh, okay, never mind then. But if you have like some type of feeling for them already at one point, then you're not just gonna be like, oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna throw all that shit out the window because you're trans.
Right.
Hell yeah.
So can I say this?
Yeah.
I love like my hamburgers, like real meat, Angus beef, but I love slutty vegan too. So I mean,
you see,
if it's
gang,
if it's tasty, then it's tasty.
Okay, so now we have an unfortunate fact of the week from our lovely Morgan. I almost said Carson because I called you Carson earlier.
Well, we actually weren't supposed to do this, but since you brought it up, I guess I'm gonna have to do it now.
Why weren't we supposed to do this?
No, we were just gonna do your thing, but
wait, what? No.
Yeah.
I forgot. I just looked
Oh,
at
you guys really didn't read the message, Chris. Yeah,
read
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, Chris.
Are you talking about
Chris
the one
knows
where you didn't like
when
it?
he sent the thing earlier about the
She's
thing.
like she
yeah.
didn't like this week's fact.
Yeah, I read that. And
I thought you were still going to do it though.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Morgan, we're ready here.
We're here.
I
We're waiting.
don't have it anymore because
Okay, that's fine.
Go to your recently deleted.
The unfortunate fact is that, unfortunately, we
Morgan
did not
doesn't
have
have
a
a
fact this week.
That's the unfortunate fact.
no, because of miscommunication, I thought we weren't gonna do.
By
my
miscommunication, me and
thing
Velva
at all.
weren't paying attention.
No, she said in the group chat that she didn't like her fact, and I was like, oh well, I'm excited. So
No, but what movie you think
I
we
was
should
still
watch?
waiting.
Right.
I was still waiting on the fact. And Chris, go ahead and reel it back in because I'm waiting.
All right, so
I hate y'all.
we have a new segment, y'all. New segment alert.
Maybe we can just edit that part out.
Nah, we're
Maybe
keeping
we
it
should
out.
just do
We're
that.
keeping it all in.
Oh,
Keeping it
God
all
damn
in.
it.
Velvet is our, local. What are you?
Movie connoisseur.
Movie mogul.
Connoisseur.
Yeah.
We're living in a time where you can't go to the movie theaters.
Nope.
And I am getting this question a lot. What should I watch on Netflix? What should I watch? What movie should I watch? Bitch, I don't know. But I know who knows.
Me. It's me. I
And
know.
it's Velvet. Velvet, what is your movie shout out?
Okay, so like Chris said, can't really go to the movies right now, so you're kind of having to like either watch these cheesy ass fucking new Netflix movies, 365, or you're just gonna have to watch old movies. So my movie for this week is 2006 Martin Scorsese film, The Departed. And I'm very biased because this is my favorite movie of all time. The Departed has, it stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Mark Wahlberg, Matt Damon, Jack Nicholson,
Yes.
Martin Sheen. Wait, did I say the right one? It's Martin or Charlie? I think it's Martin. It's the older one. Sorry.
Martin Sheen.
It's Martin. Yeah, it's Martin. I knew I was right. Martin Sheen. And the plot is they all work for the police department.
Fuck 12.
Someone's yes. I'm a you know what? Yes. But it's still a good ass fucking movie, okay? There's a mole in the mob, and then there's a rat in the police department. And basically
get a
they're
piss
trying to search
crown.
for each other, and it's fucking crazy. And let me tell you, if you guys don't know already, I'm from Boston. And this movie is set in Boston.
That's it, right?
Yes, he did.
Boston.
Boston.
That movie is so good though, and The Departed. No, like I said, I'm biased as fuck, but no, it really is a good movie. Martin Scorsese very rarely ever, if anything, disappoints. That man knows what the fuck he's doing, and that is a good ass fucking movie.
He ain't never miss.
No.
It's
So definitely.
rare when men don't disappoint.
What?
Never mind. You said he never disappoints. I said it's rare when men don't disappoint.
Okay.
Never mind, keep
So
going.
it's not on Netflix right now. It used to be on Netflix. It's not on Netflix right now. You can watch it on Amazon Prime. I think it's like $3.99 or something like that. But I promise you guys, it's so worth it. It's such a good movie. Like, oh god, there's action. There's thrill.
Comedy, drama.
There is comedy actually.
I've never
There
seen
is
it.
comedy. It's dramatic as fuck. Like y'all, please watch it and let me know how you guys feel about it because, look, I could talk for hours about this movie. So let me know how you guys feel. I promise you guys won't be disappointed. Just go in with an open mind. It's so good.
I know you said it was your favorite movie.
Yes.
If you were to rate it, like how do you rate your movies?
Okay. Let's go with the alphabetical. I was about to say the alphabetical numerology. The alphabetical grading system. I'll rate it an A+.
Wow.
And because I'm biased.
Why
I'm
did my
sorry.
brain immediately go from A to Z? I was like, why is she thinking about the alphabet? I am so sorry.
Wait, what? Okay, no, definitely an A+. I will look. This is a segment that we're gonna be doing like from now on, right? Or I assume so. And I will give you guys some movies that are like complete trash, but you should watch them because they're actually entertaining.
How?
I promise
Oh,
you.
kind of
There's
like
so
The Village. Like that movie was
example.
like shit, but like it was good. Like, but it was shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you gotta sit
There are
through
those
it, but at the
movies.
end of it, you're like, oh goddamn.
That's what I'm saying. There are those movies that are absolutely trash, but they can still be entertaining. A movie's quality does not always reflect its
Ability to entertain.
Entertain. There you go. Sorry, I
like
got distracted by Morgan. So
Like the Velocipaster.
that's a movie I'll talk about another day.
Velocipaster.
You weren't there for that, but dear God, Jay.
Oh, I want to watch that.
No, you don't.
Oh, what is it about?
A pastor that
God.
turns into a velociraptor.
It's something else.
Got prehistoric rhymes. Velociraptor. Prehistoric rhymes.
Anyways, please go watch The Departed. Like I said, Martin Scorsese, 2006. Leonardo DiCaprio never fails.
All right, good stuff. So check that out. Let us know in the comments. Know what you
DM
think.
me.
If you've seen it,
Happened?
if you haven't, you watch it. Love it or hate it. Let us know. We want to see it.
Please let me know if you hate it, because I will tell you you're wrong. You are.
Okay.
Shots fired. All right.
Just saying.
All right, so we're gonna wrap up this episode with the main topic of the evening. You know, we're in quarantine still. You know, some places more than others, and this is something that for a lot of people, I don't know. I feel like in Georgia, we're sort of like it's the Wild West. People are doing whatever the fuck they want.
Exactly.
Will Smith
But in normal civilization, and at this point, I guess this is outside of America because America doesn't give a fuck. how like quarantine relationships, like people that are in relationships now, you know, I sort of want to, you know, we could talk about that. People that are single, because I feel like majority of us.
The only thing I'm fucking is stupid.
So majority of us are single, and you know, it's I don't know, like it's a weird time to be in a relationship.
It is.
What? Okay. Any time right now is a weird time to be in a relationship, no matter fucking what. And quarantine is just like, are you gonna risk your life for somebody you don't know?
Okay.
I don't even want to risk my life for people I know. Like, I already have a hard time like talking to most people whenever like I don't have the risk of getting sick. So like the fact that like check on y'all's friends, especially the ones who are already introverted, and like the few times we do go out and talk to people, it's like very essential for us, and like we have not been able to, and it makes it even worse, especially friends with anxiety and mental illness. Keep going. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. You're definitely right.
Mm-hmm.
Are we talking about romantic relationships or just relationships in general?
Let's just
general,
talk
dating.
Dating
Dating.
in general.
So, can I say, our county, back in March. Yes, back in March, we had
It was
curfew.
March or April.
It was March. I think it was March.
April.
Both.
So we had curfew, y'all. That
Curfew
meant
was at what time? Was
9
it
o'clock.
9?
we had to be in the house at 9 o'clock,
9
and if you were
p.m.
caught outside driving around after 9 o'clock, you got stopped. And if you didn't have like a note from your
You're doing great, Chris.
if you didn't have a note from your job, you'd get pulled over, a fine, and I think depending on what time it was, you got like put in jail or something. That's what I've heard. I don't know if you actually got put in jail, but I did hear about the fines. So y'all, I had this thing, right?
Entanglement.
It's a little more than entanglement,
Wait,
but
oh,
Situationship.
we'll go with that.
A little
We'll
bit.
go with that.
Situationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all got new names for everything.
So
A mess.
that man made the effort to be there before 9 o'clock. And let me tell you, that was stressful for me. Because like, do you imagine like the type of like, you imagine that person gets stopped and gets a fine and gets like pulled over or like gets arrested. Do you imagine the type of like guilt you would feel like I would feel? I would
Put
feel
him in that car.
I know, but still like.
But it's not only that,
ask,
wait, did you,
it's not only that, like you cannot
That's why
make a
he's
dick
driving to
appointment.
you.
Like if he can't come, if he can't come before 9 p.m., like you don't get that dick appointment.
No,
There's not any more midnight dick appointment. Like
no, there wasn't. That shit was stressful, and like the thing is,
It's crazy because people be getting off at like 7, 8 o'clock.
and that's my thing is he would get off at like 7, 8 o'clock,
Right.
like sometimes, and then he would still make it there, and I'm like, you know what, you're a real one.
I'm
If you're watching this,
genuinely
if you're listening to
interested
this-
to know what type of like men people are talking to who are worth even risking getting sick for. Like I'm genuinely like, because I have not met a man in bed who like was ever worth a curfew ever, like at all, ever, never, ever.
Oh,
Like
the curfew.
literally,
but
this is just a further excuse to bring up the point that there are things that have a charge, a setting, and are done when they tell you to, when you put them in the drawer. So like, I've never, like, there's no man really necessary at this point. And quarantine even furthered like my ability to isolate and like just really like stay away from dudes. Take this as a time, if you've been in relationships your whole entire life, to not be in a relationship, so that you have an excuse, you have something to like rely on. Like quarantine was really good for me. Like I enjoyed it, honestly. Like being able to have my own bed, being able to not.
it was and still tough for me.
It was, yeah. It was in between. It was
I would like to social distance on my own terms again, but like,
yeah.
I'm all right with it.
I feel like it was stressful because if you guys know me, I work all the time, it feels like. And my salon is my whole life. And then not being able to work and like interact with the people that I normally would. And like I'm a very introverted person. However, when it comes to work, I'm very like open because I'm comfortable in what I'm doing and I'm very happy doing what I'm doing. Not being able to do that was stressful. There were some days where I was like, do I even want to get up? Because I just wanted to go back to work. Not because of like money or anything like that. I just wanted to go back to work because I needed that type of like interaction with people and like just doing what I enjoy doing and what I love doing. It felt like there was an absence in my life.
Who all worked the entire time? Did you work the entire time? Mm-hmm. I worked the entire time.
Yep.
I worked the whole entire time.
So once again, shout out to episode 1. Like West Indian, I have like 12 jobs. So
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Duh.
So pretty much like I sort of want to piggyback off of what you just said. For me, like I said, not being like in a relationship or just socializing with people was tough. But I could sort of also agree with Jade where this was a good time to sort of focus on yourself. And for me, I have like a horrible habit of burying myself in my work.
Yes.
So for me, I, took this whole quarantine thing into, focusing on my streaming, focusing on podcasting, starting a new podcast, and, working on other like side projects here and there that, it sucks that, I can't be in a relationship because I am a sane person who wants, to live and to keep people that I live with, healthy as well. So that's what porn is for.
I think we can.
We all have those urges, and that's what.
I trusted that person though. I do
Not
trust
all
that
of
person
us.
though. So as
But
far as
most
like
people
health
do.
goes, so
Really? Yeah. Oh, okay.
well, because he works at a pharmacy, so they
Like
had
a
their
street
precautions.
pharmacy or a pharmacy?
No, like a pharmacy.
Okay.
So he had his precautions too. Like I knew he wasn't like exposing himself to like every fucking body that like.
See, I was
going out to the club and shit,
I work
so.
in people's homes. I do exterior, interior, commercial, and residential home renovation. So I was in people's houses, like folks I ain't really ever met before. So it was a little like scary, but at the same time, every person that I spoke to online or knew people that I interacted with online, I kind of felt like there was a more sincere discussion every single time that I started to talk to a person, because I went through like a whole Tinder phase where I was like, I want to be in a relationship. But then I realized all my friends were in relationships and they were telling me I should get back out there, and misery loves company. Anyway, so I just like kind of got to a point where like I would get a little bit invested into somebody and then they would ghost because they're able to do that. They're online. And it's very discouraging. And then once quarantine came around, if I did get invested into a person, every person I got invested into, if they didn't turn into a relationship, they became friends. And I still talk to those people. And that did not happen before quarantine. So I think people realize like, okay, I don't have time to waste. Like if I'm not going to meet up with this person, then why am I even going to message them? Like I'm not going to get anything outside of it. So that the people you're speaking with is about conversation.
Quarantine was like, it's a weird time. Like, I feel like it's like starting relationships online is something that people are more open to now. I know that like online dating has like this huge like, resurgence right now. And like, I feel like people are more open to doing like online dating.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now. So, that's something that's definitely open. I feel like, have we all tried it, online dating before?
Yeah.
What was it like being trapped in a house with a person,
Yeah.
Morgan?
Oh.
You have a man.
So what basically we did, like since we were out of work, was we like found a lot of places to hike. So we like walked and like exercised and like hiked a lot. Like literally that's what we did. No, it was actually kind of cool. Like we went to,
I mean,
like,
I agree,
Yeah,
but
you got
we went to
shit
like
else to
Arabia
do.
Mountain and like, just walking around, like saw waterfalls and fucking scenery. And like we just smoked weed and fucking watched movies and took a lot of walks.
see, but okay, I feel like that's
Basically
easy.
what happened.
I feel like that's easy as someone who's already in a relationship, right? But I feel like as like for someone who was like maybe looking to be in a relationship, like say before quarantine, right? And you're like talking to new people, et cetera, like it's hard to be like, hey, let's go out on a date, because you can't. There's nowhere to fucking go. Like
you can do like you could have done picnics.
but that's the thing is like that's not everybody's thing.
No,
like,
women especially coming like. I have been trained and taught to not go to a location where there is not more than 10 people there, and that there is not a like disclosed location.
That's
so like it makes dating for women even scarier, especially women who were already. If I would have been with my ex during this, it would have been rough, because physical abuse is a very real thing, and that was something that crossed my mind a lot. What if I was still with him during this, and I could not leave the house, because work saved my life a lot. Getting out and talking to my friends or having people come over was a break for me. And a lot of people need people to go away from their houses so where they could have a break. I called people over all the time so I could be safe. So like, can you imagine how these women are feeling, how the children of these women are feeling, or how some of these men who are being abused by their wives are feeling? They're already not getting the attention and they're stuck.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like after all of this is over, there's going to be an insurgence of a lot of people divorcing. So like, you know, y'all divorce, divorce attorneys are probably over here like, y'all ready for the courses? Now back up, get that coin, because everybody's splitting.
We're gonna see a lot of quarantine like split ups, but then we're also gonna see a lot of quarantine babies.
Yeah.
I got some quarantine bangs
because that's what I was. I'm sorry, Chris.
I cut my hair
and
shaved my eyebrows off. Twice.
Oh, dear God. Okay. Well, you see, that's what I was going. That's what I was going with the whole like dating new people during quarantine, right? You don't have many options like to do what to do, right? There are some people like, yes, hiking is like an option, but there are people like me who don't necessarily enjoy hiking. Like, I enjoy hiking with my friends. I enjoy hiking with my friends. And I enjoy hiking with my friends. But that's not something I would want to do with a significant other, because I don't know. I just wouldn't.
Only walk if there's somewhere to go.
No, I generally don't know. Like, I do picnics, but that's another thing. It's like I mentioned this in the last episode. I'm really like, I don't like
picnics that are outside, dates. And you know what else is outside?
Bugs. Exactly. So
humidity.
Exactly. But like that's
Stone Mountain's cool, and like hiking up Stone Mountain was kind of fun. So
I'm sure that was very exciting for you.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is like that's something that I would be okay with. Like
I went on a sky ride thingy one time.
Oh God.
That's it.
Like that's something that would be like fun. Like if with someone that you've been like with for like a minute, like a while.
So what you're saying? This isn't like first date material.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
As a
no, hell no.
At a certain temperature.
That's not what we were talking about.
But that's what I'm saying. Like people who are dating new.
This comes off.
Right, like what are people who are already in a relationship? Like, what the fuck do you do to get out of the house? Like, go
Cheat.
for a walk, go hiking.
I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
Jade, breathe. So, but that's what I'm saying is like for people that were already in relationships and they've been in relationships for a minute, like, and if you're like in a good relationship,
honestly, there wasn't much to do. Like,
that's
I'm not gonna lie.
Like that's why you have so many babies, like now quarantine babies, because there's not that much to do
except fuck,
except to Netflix and chill. Like, and what else are you gonna do?
Watch new movies, find new series to watch on Netflix, go hiking if that's what you're into, ride your bikes around town.
But that's not parents something... got married online in a live video. They got married in their kitchen. I saw that too. I forgot who it was.
No, I did see a lot of
it was so cute.
Zoom marriages.
That was adorable.
Yeah. I thought that was cute. It's very intimate.
Because even though like nobody was there, y'all still trying this shit. Like that was adorable.
Yeah.
That means it was really actually about them and not what their parents thought.
I wouldn't have even done that. I would have just like gone wherever I wanted to, like a scenic place to get married.
I wouldn't have got married.
Period.
But I wouldn't have started that shit in the first place. But I mean, that's just me.
All right, so for the listener that's listening, and they're like, well, what do I do if I want to be in a relationship and I'm quarantined?
You're in a relationship with yourself already. Make sure that one's good so that way you can provide the person when the time is available, when the time is right, whenever people are available to date. Make sure you're providing them with the best version of yourself.
That's the answer that people, That's not what people are gonna do though.
No.
Well, if
So-
you want to meet someone in person, like just go get tested for COVID, make sure you're negative, and then go meet up with the person. Like,
But then what do you
like you
do?
can be around one other person. What do you mean? There's places that are open. Like,
Yeah, here in Georgia, because Georgia doesn't give a fuck.
Well, okay, if everybody's got a phone, right?
Yeah.
Y'all can. Everybody can you can order card games off of Amazon if you're not able to go to a store and they're not available. But you can put
But
your
if
mask
it's
on,
like
go to
a-
Walmart and buy a card game
But if it's like a first date, where are you gonna have a card game?
at someone's house.
Whose house?
Either his or hers.
But if it's a first date and you don't know this person, other than
You're gonna go to
chatting
their
a few
house?
times,
Drop your
Yeah,
location. I mean, you're running that risk no matter what. Girls are getting kidnapped in the street regardless.
That's true.
First of all, if a law is put in place, that does not stop people from breaking it.
no,
So,
I mean,
like,
you need to have
I
a
definitely
person-
that
agree.
person
But
is
I'm
a
just
you need to
predator.
have a
Right.
person that you're close to give like your location to, and
I
just be
did
like, hey, I'm
virtual
going on
dates.
this
But that's
date.
the thing, though,
Here's
is
where
I'm not gonna go to someone's
be.
house on the first date.
Yeah, that's the
Here's
same.
a
Like
good
you can
idea.
say that, but
I
who's
get
actually
that.
gonna-
With or without quarantine, I'm not going to someone's house on the first date.
I did a
I get
virtual
that.
date with a guy. Obviously it didn't work out, but he's a loud chewer. So he video chatted me and I video chatted him, and we prepared the same recipe. And we both basically, I just sat my phone on the little top bridge of the stove, and we just talked while we cooked. And I plugged my headphones in, and it was basically just that. And also, this is a good opportunity for people like me, who I'm not scared of sex, but I don't really like it. It's just something that for a trans person who doesn't want to have the genitalia I have, a direct attention to genitalia is kind of a very thing. I'm not really a fan. Not so. It was a very it was one of the only dates that I felt myself enjoying, even though he was an awful person.
Go.
Okay, yeah.
It was just
I was
something that was
expecting it to
fun.
go.
But that's the thing, you can still be able to do these things. My question is it quarantine that's making it hard, or is it the fact that you're not having instant gratification? Because that's really what really what it boils down to, because most people, I want to meet in person. Why? What are you going to get from meeting in person that you won't get from video chat and speaking?
A lot.
The contact, the physical contact.
No,
like-
it's not even that.
It's people
is
are
it?
different on FaceTime.
Yeah, than they are,
than in real life.
Because if I'm on FaceTime, I'm going to make sure all my angles are okay. I'm going to make sure I sound good. I'm going to make sure I'm doing something that's interesting.
But
Whereas,
that's
if I'm in
still-
person,
That's
I
still
can't do
your
all
fault
that.
though. That, you know what I mean? That's not the world's fault that you have those. You're gonna still have those insecurities when you go on the date. You know what I mean? No matter what, you're still gonna have those thoughts. No, but that's the thing. If you're actually insecure about something and you go on those dates, that genuine insecurity is still gonna be there on that date.
but I'm not talking about insecurities. I'm just saying it's different being on FaceTime versus being in person.
Are you dating with intentions? If you're gonna be dating with intentions, okay, well then what? You know what I mean? Then what's a couple months of you not being able to date if you're not gonna be dating with intentions anyway? That just sounds like boredom. Get over it. You know what I mean? I know it sounds like I'm being insensitive, but if you're not dating, if you're not going out to build a relationship with somebody, what is stopping you from building that relationship through a phone? My best friend moved to Kentucky because he built a relationship online at first, and the man lived all the way out there. And he decided while everything died down a little bit for that one little drop, he went out there and visited him. They both quarantined for 2 weeks. He went out there and they met at my house first, and they spoke for a little bit, and then he went and visited. They video chatted up for a long time, and they built that foundation on there. I've been in online relationships, and saying that I can't date online, it's just not going to work, that really invalidates a lot of people who have been married from online
Yeah.
relationships. My parents met online, and they've been together for a very long time. So if you are really genuinely wanting to date, then nothing's going to stop you from dating.
Yeah, I'm not saying that that's
But
the
if
case.
you're wanting the instant gratification, then that is something that maybe you should probably go and take a step back. My genuine advice is take a step back and reevaluate your relationship with yourself and your relationship with people, because there's something that's missing. If you absolutely have to have that physical contact, if you absolutely have to be having sex, then if you can't take a break, and that's something that you feel is essential to your character, then that's a problem.
Well, I'm not talking about that at all. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying if I go on a date with somebody, it has to be because there's physical contact. When I go on a first date, I don't even want you to touch me.
Relatable.
But But that's the thing, though, is like people are completely different online than they are in person.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's my thing. It has nothing to do with physical contact or that instant gratification that you're talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like people are just completely fucking different in person than they are on the phone or whatever. Somebody could be sweet and tell you all this and promise you all that and this and that, and then when you're in person, it's a completely different fucking ball game. And they could flip the fucking switch. And that's why I feel like dates and in person, like, you know, that type of stuff is not even with sex. I'm not even talking about sex or touching or anything like that. I mean, like, in person,
like being in person with someone, like, it's still like important.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not saying that that's like you should stray from that, but like try video chatting with this person for a little while. And then if you feel like that is something that, if you like the vibe from that and you feel like it's worth the risk of taking like a 2-week break from people, going through a quarantine for a minute, and then going and visiting that person or meeting up at a park. Not all parks are closed. Not all places are closed. You can still meet at you can meet in random places and talk to that person there for a little bit.
So I was gonna say, so how mad would y'all be if I was like, all right, so for 2 weeks, no podcast because I'm trying to meet up with somebody?
I genuinely, I would not be upset with you.
Really?
No, because as your friend, as podcast aside, as your friend, it is my responsibility, in order to love you as effectively as possible, to urge you and push you to chase your dreams and your goals. Do you think I wanted my best friend in the entire world, the person who I started quarantine with, to move across the country? Absolutely not. I was devastated. But the thing is it is not my responsibility to run their life in a way that benefits me. It's my responsibility to provide them with the support that they need to be happy.
Oh, you're a good person.
So I'm not going to be upset with you. If that's something that you need to be happy, if any of you guys needed a break from something so that you can chase what makes you happy, I'm going to urge you to do that. Because that's not it's going to be detrimental to my health. Why would your happiness be detrimental to me? That doesn't make any sense.
You passed the vibe check.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
But seriously, like, okay, for instance, I realized in that one little date that I had, he had to work way harder to prove himself a gentleman. Because those are the things that I expressed that I wanted out of a man, somebody who is a gentleman. Because even though I think the patriarchy should have fallen with the rest of Donald Trump's hairline, I still do like the traditional roles of a relationship. I like doors to be opened for me, my chair to be pulled out, men to offer the date, me to pay for the date, me to decline and pay for it myself to establish dominance. But still, the tradition is nice. And he wasn't able to do those things because he wasn't in front of me. So the only way that he could express that interest was by asking me questions about what I liked, what I wanted to do with my life. Very intimate questions. I had questions like, what is your biggest fear on that first date? Or what is your favorite memory? Things were very broken down on that date, and it was like he had to really try.
So I feel like I feel like these relationships that come out of this quarantine, when you're doing it that way, these are gonna be stronger relationships because you're actually gonna know the person.
You had to fight for that.
Okay,
shit.
So the reason why I'm so opposed to everything you're saying right now is because I did that. Okay, so not the situationship. This is somebody else. We talked online. We FaceTimed, we talked on the phone, and this was for like a minute, right? So in person, that person, did everything what you're just talking about right now that they wouldn't be able to do online, right? Open doors for me. Like, look, that man would bring me lunch. He would come to the salon. He'd come to visit me. Like he would go out of his way to prove himself, right? And he did that even before we met in person, right? This was like online type of thing, right? Like FaceTime and everything. And he would we had those types of conversations where it was like, what are your insecurities? And we talked about the things that made us uncomfortable, or we talked about literally fucking everything. Like I felt like I knew that person for forever, right? Then after we met and after the first few times we hung out or whatever, a completely different fucking person. And that's that shit I'm talking about. That's why I'm saying it. I feel like that's why it's so hard to start a relationship right now during quarantine, because you can't go out and experience that person how they are, like outside of on the phone and texting and FaceTime and all that other shit.
My ex
So-
and I were together for 6 months before he hit me for the first time.
Yeah.
But
See,
the
that's what
thing
I'm
is
saying, though.
we did not meet online. We met at school. He was my best friend for a very long time. In front of our friends, he was amazing. In front of everybody else, he was amazing. Maybe it's not a problem with online dating; it's a problem with the individual.
Well, yeah,
Because-
no,
But
that's
the thing.
definitely true.
Yeah, it may be
though.
harder, but the thing is,
I know-
you run that risk no matter what.
Yeah.
Well, online dating or not. So being opposed to online dating, maybe you're opposed to like firsthand intimacy, which is conversational intimacy. Maybe that's where that stems from. Maybe it comes from a fear
But I'm
of
not opposed to online dating. I'm just saying, like, I feel like online dating is great, but there has to be like a physical thing to not physical like sexually or anything like that, but like in person type of like
yeah. But
dealings.
the thing is like my ex carried on that image for 6 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He carried that on long enough to trap me regardless. So no matter what, if somebody is a manipulative abuser, they're going to manipulate you for an extended amount of time and give you everything you want for an extended amount of time, whether or not it via Snapchat, FaceTime, whatever it is. They're going to provide that for you until they feel they don't have to, until they feel they're comfortable enough to not need to. You got that after meeting them in person for a couple of times. That probably would have happened within that time span regardless. He probably would have spent that long being a good person regardless, because that's how long it takes to manipulate someone. People who are pattern manipulators know what it takes to get somebody to that point. So like regardless of whether or not you guys met online and had those amazing conversations, he would have had those conversations with you so that way he could have gotten that information with you and he could have developed that bond so that way you could be emotionally structured and invested in that person enough to accept being treated like shit to a degree instead of losing that like consistency. Because I'm not exactly sure how that went, but like even if he was just like a just general asshole, like you would have accepted those things. You may or may not have accepted those things at a certain time, regardless of how he spoke to you. I decided on that first date that even though he was a great person, he's a loud chewer. He ate, we ate in front of each other. We still had those conversations and he was a great person, but like he kind of started to get on my nerves. That was something that you can pick up on no matter what. And you're going to run the risk of running into things you don't like about that person. Everybody has a persona in every situation. Everybody's like, your online persona is different than your other persona. My persona in front of my parents is definitely not the persona I have in front of my friends. My persona in front of my friends is not the persona I have in front of my siblings or the one that I have in front of my cousin or my best friends, because every relationship is going to be different. Everybody brings something different to the table. And judging that based off of circumstances is a little unfair to yourself and others. So if it is harder to date, maybe you should not be so concerned with circumstances and be concerned with the individual, and most importantly, concerned with yourself.
Mic drop, right?
No, because there's so much I can say.
Oh,
but-
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, because okay, I feel like you're completely missing the point that I'm saying.
What's the point, Velvet?
I get that you're saying like, okay, that maybe you should reevaluate yourself, and not everybody's going to be the same, and not every relationship is going to be the same. And if person is this type of person, the person is always going to be that type of person, regardless of quarantine or not quarantining. Okay, my point is, when you're in quarantine, it's going to be harder to date, starting a relationship,
Yeah.
because you have to focus on how it is online first. And then if you rely solely on that, then when you meet that person in person, regardless of if like they could be a phenomenal person in person, but they could still have these habits that you're unaware of. And like you still are going to have to be like, I don't know, because this was this kind of person online and on FaceTime and this and that. And it's not necessarily like having to reevaluate yourself
Well,
or taking a look at how some person is or circumstances. It has
as
nothing to do with
people
that.
agree.
I'm just talking about
what I
fucking
recommend?
different.
I recommend people to pick up a VR headset because, over the quarantine, I finally got myself Oculus Quest, and VR is something different. Like
Can we do that shark thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you were talking shit about it before, but, I'll let you try it out.
Yeah, I was, because I want the real experience still, but I'll try it VR first.
So look, my point is that
Shower.
I've used an app called Altspace, where it's essentially like you create your avatar and you go around and you just talk to people. They're like virtual chat rooms, and there's something about walking into a room, whether it be in real life or in virtual reality, where you don't know anybody and you could get like social anxiety in VR because you're thrown into that experience and you're seeing it firsthand. So like I've been using VR for I think about 8 to 9 weeks now, and just like talking to like at this point I have like a circle of friends that they hit me up on Instagram, they watch the show, shout out to them,
Party.
and it's cool because you sort of pick up on things that you would pick up in real life, like people how whether or not people are annoying, whether or not people are just fucking weird. Because that's happened.
Yes.
I feel like, and especially with it being, what's really interesting is that with it being online, people online sort of have like a mask where they think it's online. I could say and do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So essentially, you're really getting that true person.
Yeah.
You're getting that person without the mask.
Without any type of lens. Yeah. The lens that they want you to see you through, which is the most genuine form of that person.
Mm-hmm. So if someone's going to be an asshole, if someone's going to be creepy, if someone is, going to be a womanizer, if someone's going to be any of that stuff, you're going to see it in VR. And I've seen it, on this app where people, like the people in my friend group, half of them are women, and I could see like the new guy come into the group and like just follow them around and just like, I don't know, just sort of be weird. Yeah. And like after a week, I'll get a message from, one of the girls in the group. They're like, yeah, we're not hanging out with such and such because they're fucking weird.
Well, like, okay.
They followed me around all day.
Consider this. A lot of people are in relationships. Like I have a friend, I'm not going to say their name because it's Taylor. And they were in a relationship with this guy for a very long time. And they dated in high school. And then they moved in. And then she picked up on things after they moved in that she could not stand. And then they broke up. That's the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, yes, there's things that they can conceal from you whenever they talk to you online. But you run the same risk when you move in. Then you run the same risk whenever you stay together for 10 years after you've been married. And then their body goes through changes and their chemical mindset and their mind changes. So they like exude different behaviors. You run that risk factor no matter what.
Yeah.
That's all that I'm trying to say is like to provide you comfort with the idea that like, I do understand where you're coming from, but the thing is I'm saying those risks are going to exist no matter what.
I am aware of that.
So
like there's other situations where that's why I'm saying with or without quarantine, I know that those instances exist. Like
quarantine
I know,
makes
I'm not
it more
saying
scary. It makes it feel like the time that you're investing is more of a waste if they aren't the right person.
Because I mean, you're in fucking quarantine. You can't do anything. What the fuck? It's just like.
Do you feel like quarantine put a strain on your relationship? If you're comfortable talking about that.
I will say that if you're used to working and being away from someone for like 8 hours a day and then come to being around them for 24 hours every single day, it can be difficult. I would say if you're the type of person like me personally, I need personal space. I need to be alone sometimes. Mm-hmm. So being around someone for 24 hours a day for about 6 weeks, it can be a struggle, definitely. So I can't really speak for everybody in a relationship, but me personally, it was slightly difficult because I'm used to going out and working and being by myself. Like I work almost 7 days a week, so I'm used to being at work all that time. So going from being at work so much to just being at home around this same person over and over and over and over again, I'll just say make sure that you have like, I guess, a plan and like you get along with the person you're with, because it can be, it can be a lot. I mean, but that's with anybody. Like, growing up with your family, like, didn't you fight with your siblings a lot because you were around them for so long, all day, like every day? Like, you know what I mean? You see your sibling every single night and every day you fight with them.
I would literally.
It's kind of similar with like with the relationship. Like, oh my God, I'm seeing you every single day, all hours of the day. Like, oh my God, like I need to be around someone else. Like for Pete's sake, I need to be around someone.
I was gonna say, so during quarantine, I lived with my sister and parents for a little bit, and I feel like at this point we all knew each other's like boundaries. So I think when we're like younger, we'd be in each other's spaces all the time. But I feel like as an adult, like I'm in my room.
Yeah,
I'm like.
So where I live, it's one bedroom and then a living room. So it's like, where do you go? Like if you want to be alone, where do you go?
Yeah, you can't even say, "Oh, I'll go to the living room," because that person will probably follow you after a while.
Yeah, so it's like, do you be like, hey, you stay in the bedroom for a little while, and then I'll be in the living room because we have like one TV.
Oh shit!
So it's like, yeah, there's one. There's one TV in the living room, right? So we don't have a TV in the bedroom and in the living room. There's one TV in the living room with a PlayStation.
I started to piss myself off. I don't know how you did it. Like I genuinely.
I have a smartphone. I have a laptop. I mean, I have friends. So like. I'm not gonna lie, I went over to Velvet's for some days, like during quarantine, because it's like I gotta like just do something else because it's like just I'm stuck in my house every single day.
Well, how do you declare what's essential?
I'm not used to that.
Really? I mean, how do you declare what's essential?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we have these essential workers that like are providing for like what is essential to survive. But when it comes to people with mental health issues, like some people just need that break and they have to have somebody there here and there.
But you have to say it. It's all about communication.
Yeah, I think it's like those things are essential, like getting away from your partner. Like Gage stayed at my house the whole time, and that's my best friend who moved to Kentucky. And he was there. We would tell him, like, he would tell me, like, hey, I need a minute to be alone. Or I would tell him I need a minute to be alone. We had rules set in place to where, like, when someone puts in both of their headphones and they sit down, do not bother them until they take them out. Like, it's all about respect. And that kind of boils down to make sure that the people you're already invested in and already talking to are people who respect you in the first place so you don't get driven crazy during quarantine. And maybe read a few articles about like early signs of people who have sociopathic or narcissistic tendencies or people who don't have your best interest at heart. Maybe you should just take this time to really educate yourself on how to protect yourself. Early signs, because that's all you kind of really can have when you're online is like the minor things. And that's what I'm able to pick up on because I have had those things so much in my life that I know like small things about like that can lead to bigger behaviors.
That's exactly why I left that one person, because I noticed the small signs, y'all. So imagine if I would have let that shit keep going. Jesus Christ. Yeah, red flags are there, y'all. So
That's my favorite color.
mine too.
Red.
But good God. Red flags are there. Pick up on them. And you will pick up on them. You just choose to ignore them or not. So
Ooh, I feel like that's a topic.
What are your personal red flags? Oh, we should talk about that one day. What are the red flags that you have about yourself? Like, what are the bad things you probably do in a relationship to make you toxic?
so
I start them. The relationship, that is. That's my red flag.
what kind of laugh?
Nervous, guilty. Oh shit! All right, let's talk later.
Later. Do anybody have anything else to add to that?
I mean, y'all stay safe. I guess
It's still kind of uncertain.
I'll say the dick
right
appointments
now.
could wait, right?
Can they?
Now they can. Now they can. Because
I mean, what if
cases have
we
gone
wear
up.
masks?
bitch.
Has anyone considered like dick
First of
appointments?
all,
Like you both wear a mask. Like
They have those full body.
Is anybody
latex
out there
suits.
wearing masks during sex? Like, are you going out and fucking around? Like, are y'all wearing masks out
I
there?
already sweat and can't breathe when I'm fully
They have
naked.
those
And you
full
want me to have
latex
a mask
body
on?
First of all, I wait tables part time. If I can wear a mask while running around and waiting tables for like 6 hours, I feel like you can wear a mask and fuck for like less than an hour. Am I right?
Less than an hour, bitch. That's how long you.
How long
It
are
takes
you
you
having
less
sex
than-
for? You want to have sex for more than an hour?
I got shit to do.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, hold on.
I said less than an hour.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm so confused.
Like,
Look,
less
they got
than 30
latex
minutes? Like,
bodysuits.
damn,
If you
what?
really feel like you need to wrap the whole thing, wrap the whole thing. You know? Like,
Be safe.
Yes. No.
Wear your
and
mask.
That's the thing, though, is like back when
Golden Star shit.
my friend
Can
was
we make it a thing where we wear masks when we fuck people?
Oh my God, what is that from Scary Movie 2?
Like the whole face.
No, just the face mask.
Like the whole.
No.
Like a bag on your head.
No, that's the thing is like when my situationship was coming over before curfew, like cases weren't that bad. Like,
There's ways you can do it without facing each other.
Oh my God. Like, I mean,
I was holding on to that joke. I wanted to say it, and I was like,
she beat you to it.
Yeah.
She beat you to it. But now
Easier that way too.
cases are going up. You know, really limit yourself to what you're doing, and especially if you're in Georgia. Yes, the clubs are open, but really, are you fucking serious?
Don't go.
Don't go.
Don't do
Stay
it.
home. Damn it.
Dance at home.
The only thing that should be open.
Get drunk at home.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
Have a little house party with like 3 of your friends at home or something.
Get
Like,
a damn
That's
dog.
what we do.
Adopt a dog.
We're all together 24/7. Well, not 24/7, but like when we hang out, it's just us because we know we've already been around each other. So I mean,
If you got the Rona, I got the Rona. We all got the Rona.
Actually,
Everybody get
2
Rona.
of us and almost 3 of us will have been tested like this next week.
Yeah.
yeah. So
I wear masks
You know
everywhere
what?
I go.
actually, yeah, me too. Okay, so fun fact. It's not a fact, and it's not fun. A customer of ours, before we even shut down, a customer of ours, he came to the salon and he was like that. He works at a prison here in Georgia, right? And he was like that. You know, every morning they get tested, or not tested, but they get their temperatures checked. They get a little questionnaire asked, like, have you been around anybody with the symptoms? Blah blah blah. And so he said, it's not about who gets it, because everybody's gonna get it. It's about when you get it. And you know, I've been thinking about that lately because it's crazy how back when this all started, like I didn't know anybody personally who had it. And now that we're into month 7, I know plenty of people personally, like very close to me, that have gotten it.
I don't really
And
know a
it's
lot of
kinda
people
like-
who have had it, honestly.
I know.
I have.
But that's because literally I told people at the very start of this, at the very, very start, if you want to be in my life, because my mom has COPD, that is already a lung-related illness. If she catches COPD, if she catches coronavirus, odds are she's probably not going to make it out of that. So I told everybody, like, if you give, I love you to death, but I love my mama more. And if you give a single flying fuck about me and you want to continue to have a relationship with me, you have to quarantine. And you are only allowed to see 2 of our mutual friends, which are people that I also see. And either they agreed to it or they didn't. And if they wanted to come visit me, they had to quarantine for 2 weeks before they were even allowed to see me. And I had to check their temperature, and they had to Lysol themselves before they were allowed in my house.
You know what's crazy
So, like-
though? The people that I know personally that have gotten it have been the ones who have taken the most care. My cousin, her youngest son, he has heart problems. So,
But those are
you know, them getting it was like a very, very, like before they even got it, it was like a very big deal for them. Like they would never go out without a mask. They would never go out other than for the fucking essentials. And then her husband got it first, and then she got it. And then she wasn't able to, you know, be around the kids or anything like that in fear of her youngest son getting it.
yeah.
And that's what's crazy to me is that the people who have taken the most care that I know personally, that have taken even more care than I have gotten, and I'm just like, oh, I fucking hate you people for the ones who don't take care of themselves and have been getting the people
and
who
about.
do take care
For
of
the
themselves.
people who
just
shave
sick.
their eyebrows off twice and cut their bangs almost every other day because they just had to do something. Me, in order to not talk to anybody, I did all of those things and sat home and just lost my mind for a little while. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all are really fucked up for just not wearing masks and continuing to like not care and like putting even more people at risk. Because yeah, I agree. I know people who the few people who I know were taking those precautions, but the people who are taking those precautions are also the ones who care enough to get tested. The people who are not going to take it seriously are not even going to go get tested because half of them don't believe it exists.
Oh God, and that's you know what.
So I mean, it would make sense for the people who have taken a lot of precaution to like also have gotten it and like because they're actually going to go get tested because they give a shit.
No, I want to know what do we call people that are out and about not wearing masks?
Trump
Idiots.
supporters.
Assholes.
I wanted to give them a more creative name.
Conservative.
They call them anti-maskers.
Ew.
And they've actually invented a quote-unquote anti-mask, and it's basically like this crocheted mask that has like holes in it. It kind of looks like a fishnet.
I gotta go. I'm kidding. That is absolutely fucking ridiculous.
It's fucking stupid. It's literally a mask with like holes. Like, have you ever seen like a crocheted like?
Yeah.
And there's like those like diamond shaped holes.
Bro, shame on you.
They're literally making masks that look like that. That and then like mesh material, so it looks like you're wearing fucking panties on your mouth.
Oh my god.
I just can't mask my love for these jokes, y'all.
Bruh!
All right, I'll give y'all time to breathe. I'm sorry, I have no filter.
Chris said, fuck y'all, it's time to end this shit.
Oh my god.
I got a sent ton of jokes, y'all.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna leave y'all Corona alone.
That's episode 5. I want to thank you, the listener, for making it this far.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you for the shout outs on social
bless
media.
you.
I think this is a good point because I think this is episode 7. No, not episode 7. This is
6.
Episode 5.
We said that before. You said that. I didn't think you forgot.
No, I'm thinking. I'm trying to think ahead. I'm thinking ahead. So, if you follow us on social media, you should know about this already. But, we've been doing this for a little
5
while.
episodes.
5 episodes, and we want to celebrate that. We are doing a giveaway. So check out our social medias on that. And if
We're gonna post it.
Yeah, if you missed out on that, you gotta be following us. You would have had a couple days head start already. So if you're watching this as soon as this drops and you're not following us, follow us and you'll be able to win a
Morgan. I'm just kidding. I was just kidding. It was a joke.
What are
we take giveaway?
I mean, Morgan, what are they gonna win?
Oh my god. It's gonna be a $50 Amazon gift card. What?
Where's... Oh no. God damn it.
Again, let's label those. No, you are not gonna win me. Sorry to disappoint, guys, but I'm not the prize. Yeah.
You're such a prize, though.
But yeah, that's what we're gonna win.
Yep,
$50.
so-
Not we. You guys. You.
Yeah, we're not allowed to compete.
You're gonna win a $50 gift card.
So definitely tune in on the post that we're gonna have about that. If you're already part of the nation, of the crew that
nation.
I'm speaking
To our friends.
events. Like there will be a nation of people listening. At some point, there will be. And they're like, "Wow, this is what they did on episode 5. That's crazy."
Meanwhile, episode 20, we're gonna be giving away Bentleys or something.
What?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But hopefully we can get to the point where we can afford that and give that away.
We can give away
not really, but
puppies or some shit. Or pallets.
the next time, hopefully,
a bigger gift card.
there you go. That's what I was getting to. But I don't know why Bentleys was on my mind first.
Yeah, the bigger the following, the better the prizes. You feel me?
So tune into that. Follow our pages.
Jesus.
And we'll see you next week on That's Unfortunate.
We're out.
Bye, friends.
Peace.